Practical examples of Michel de Montaigne's thoughts. By John Vespasian. Michel de Montaigne, 1533 to 1592, wrote extensively, but the structure of his thoughts is sometimes disrupted. The reason is not difficult to fathom. He did not have a word processor, and it was hard for him to edit his handwritten texts. In this respect, he was facing the same problem as any other author during the Renaissance. Nonetheless, his essays remain entertaining even when he goes into tangents. I have reread Montaigne through the years and remarked my favorite essays. Despite the vast variety of subjects, there is one idea that permeates them all, namely, the idea that living according to reason is superior to any other lifestyle. Montaigne's essay, "Fortune is often met in the pursuit of reason," constitutes the best example of this principle. It gives a presentation of the advantages of living according to reason. On the one hand, reason leads to better decisions that, more often than not, lead to better results. On the other hand, even in times of adversity, reason will tilt the odds in your favor. You may suffer occasionally, but less intensely than foolish people. Montaigne's essay, "Fortune is often met in the pursuit of reason." The key question addressed by Montaigne in "Fortune is often met in the pursuit of reason" is the extent to which we can control our life and happiness through reason. In other words, he asks whether luck plays a larger role than planning in the outcome. Montaigne supplies historical evidence, proving his point. In no way is he affirming that reason is all-powerful, but he does say that reason gives us the best possible guidance. Bad luck can hit us even with the best preparations, but in those cases, the damage will be limited. For instance, reason should prompt people to diversify their risks. If you are a merchant, you should seek to acquire many clients, so that you are not dependent on just a few of them. In your social life, you should aim at acquiring a sizable number of friends, so that you are not devastated if you lose a few of them. Montaigne presents his advice as follows: "It is pleasant and profitable to have many iron bars in the fire, and keep several projects going at once, because if one project fails, another one might succeed." In addition, reason should prompt individuals to maintain an adequate margin of safety in their projects. You do not want to invest all your resources in one project, especially if there are high risks involved. Bad luck can hit anyone anytime. We are to remain prudent if we want to ensure our survival and peace of mind. Montaigne's call for prudence. Montaigne draws the conclusion that, in matters or projects of importance, one should act with measure. He observes that it is dangerous to commit oneself imprudently or outrun one's strength. Act prudently, and prudence will protect you. In this essay, Montaigne mentions the Battle of Cannae, 216 BC, where the Roman legions endured a massive defeat. The Romans were more numerous than Hannibal's troops, but their numerical superiority had rendered them arrogant, imprudent, and reckless. The Romans allowed Hannibal, 247 to 182 BC, to break their flank, bringing them into disarray. Hannibal's cavalry was relatively small, but faster than the Romans. It hit them from a flank that the Roman generals had failed to protect adequately. Hannibal had displayed his troops in a way that tilted the odds in his favor. He had prudently kept the cavalry hidden in preparation of a flank attack, while his infantry retreated little by little to lure the Romans into a trap. Nonetheless, Montaigne acknowledges that reason does not always enable people to make good choices. Sometimes, there is simply too much uncertainty in the situation. When Julius Caesar, 100 to 44 BC, crossed the Rubicon to attack Rome, he could not be completely certain of his victory. He gambled and won, but he might as well have lost all he had, including his life. Montaigne's call for backup plans. Reason should also prompt individuals to establish backup plans. In case of failure, you want to have in advance an idea of what you are going to do. What is your backup plan in case you lose your job, fall sick, or lose your investments? Montaigne gives the following advice: "We must organize our projects so that we are able to change course and survive in case of failure." The last thing you want is to gamble your assets and your life. How do you ensure that you are not taking excessive risks? I find Montaigne's advice highly valuable. He is telling readers to strip themselves of superfluous possessions, projects, ideas, and emotions. Simplicity goes hand in hand with reason. In addition, Montaigne calls for flexibility. Bad luck or surprises can disrupt the best-laid plans. Stay alert and reassess the situation as often as needed. In times of adversity, modesty and adaptability are your best friends. If you are interested in applying rational philosophy in all sorts of situations, I recommend my book, Undisrupted: How Highly Effective People Deal with Disruptions. For more information, go to johnvespasian.com.